So to add or subtract matrices, find a sum. Sum means add them. Difference means subtract them. You have to have matrices of the same dimensions. So to add or subtract, matrix must be the same size. So the dimensions must match. So just for practice, this is a 2 by 3 matrix, 2 rows, 3 columns. Matrix D right here is a 2 by 3, 2 rows, 3 columns. And so we will be able to add them and subtract them. So all you do to add two matrices together is you take the elements that are at the same address. So I'm going to combine the 2 and the 5. I'm going to add those together based on the rules of signed numbers. So a positive 2 and a positive 5 go together to make a positive 7. Then, because they're at the same address, they are in the first row, first column. So first row, first column goes with first row, first column. Now we're going to go first row, second column. Those two go together, the 8 and the 0. And a positive 8 with a 0 goes together to make 8. And then the first row, third column goes with the first row, third column. Those two go together, a positive 10 and a negative 2. Now that's what I said, you follow the rules of signed numbers. So the rule that we're doing here is we're finding the sum, but it's a positive number and a negative number, which means the signs are different, so you subtract and keep the sign of the larger. Positive 10, negative 2 go together to give you a positive 8. And then, of course, the same thing happens with the second row. Negative 3 and 8 go together to make 5. 1 and 7 go together to make 8, and negative 5 and negative 4 go together to make negative 9. And so that's pretty much all there is to the adding. You just combine the ones that have the same address and you get a new number. Now with subtraction, you need to be sure, since we're saying C minus D, you need to be sure and understand that that negative D needs to be distributed. And so all the numbers inside that D matrix need to change signs before you put them together with the C matrix. Okay, so that negative D kind of distributes in there and everything changes signs. So now we have a positive 2 and a negative 5, a positive 2 and a negative 5, and that goes together and make negative 3. We've got 8 and 0, 8 and 0, that goes together to make 8. We've got a positive 10, and we've got minus a negative 2, or a positive 10 minus a negative makes a positive 2, so we get 12. And then you just do it the same way. So some people like to continue to do write down the negative D and then combine that with this one. Some people like to do it like this. It doesn't matter to me how you do it. I just need you to be sure and know how to do it. And there is a difference here between, notice down here on the one that we're supposed to do together, or the one that you're supposed to try actually. You're supposed to, here you would say E minus F, and here you're supposed to say F minus E. So you would need to be sure and put the negative with the right number. Those are not going to be the same answer. It's going to be a different answer. E plus F is going to be the same thing as F plus E, because addition gives you the same answer regardless of how you do it, but subtraction does not. 6 minus a negative 1 is not the same thing as negative 1 minus 6. So you should pause the video and do these by hand. I'm going to pause it and do them, and then you can check your work. All right, so here are the answers to E plus F, E minus F, and F minus E. If you didn't get that, shoot me an email. Say, I don't understand, try these A, part B. I didn't get the same answer, and I will try to send you an explanation of how I did it. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you real quick is a matrix calculator. I'm going to go to just a regular Google page, and I'm going to do, you've already done it right here, typed in Desmos matrix calculator. And when I type in Desmos matrix calculator, it pops up right there. So I'm going to choose that option. And then the calculator pops up, and the first thing that you have to do is you have to build your matrix. So I'm going to type in a new matrix. Now it's naming this one matrix A. I think I don't know if I can do matrix E. I did a whole bunch of them. I'm just going to clear all that. I'm playing with this. It's new to me. Oh, my dogs are going crazy. E equals. And then, no. I want to call it matrix E. Okay, that's how it is. Now, it automatically pops up a 2 by 2, but you can change it now. Now, let me show you what I did. I wanted to call it matrix E, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter this matrix right here, the 6, negative 2, 9, 4. That's the matrix I want to do, because I want to be able to do this on that matrix calculator. So I have to get matrix E on there. I'm going to write it down real quick because I'll never remember. 6, negative 2, 9, 4, and negative 1, 5, 10, 7. Okay, so I want to call it matrix E, so I'm going to do E, and then I'm hitting my equal sign on my keyboard, and then I'm typing in new matrix. And the matrix that I'm entering is a 2 by 2, so it pops up the size that I want it, so I don't have to change the size. But if I wanted 1 by 2, that's what a 1 by 2 would look like. If I wanted a 1 by 1, that's what a 1 by 1 would look like. But I'm adding the number of rows and I'm adding the number of columns. I want a 2 by 2. So the E matrix was 6, and you don't want to hit enter. That's what happens if you hit enter, and it just completely got me out of the matrix. So you might need to use your arrow buttons or these arrow buttons to move. Negative 2, and then I'm going to type in 4 and then 9. Okay, so now I press enter, and I've built my E matrix. Now I'm going to build my F matrix. F equals, and do a new matrix. And F was negative 1, 5, 10, and 7. Okay, so now press enter. And now I want to add E plus F. Now, if you'll notice that the answer just pops up right over there, and 5/3/1911, that should be what I got right here, 5/3/1911. Okay, let me see if I can pull this out and make it smaller so I can have it on the same screen as this. There we go. So you can see that E plus F on the Desmos calculator gave me the same thing that I said E plus F was. You put the 6 with the negative 1, you get 5. You put the negative 2 with the 5, you get 3. You put 9 together with the 10, you get 19. You put 4 together with the 7, you get 11. Now we're going to do E minus F. And so we just do E minus F. And E minus F gives me 7, -7, -1, -3, the same thing that I got right here. And then we just do F minus E, and F minus E gives me -7, 7, 1, 3. So you can see that the work that we did on try these A is correct. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop this video before we do the multiplication. The multiplication is a little bit more labor intensive, so I'm going to want a fresh video to start that.